Right, well, hello everyone. Now, each week on our live stream, we do what we call a grow along, which is basically me just sowing a few seeds and the audience is invited to sow seeds along with us, and we share tips on how to sow these. I'm saying this because I'm planning to put these videos out as standalone videos each week as well. So this week we are sowing some cucumbers, and I've got quite a few cucumber seeds to sow down here. So the first batch that we have here are these cucumbers that are called Beth Alpha. We've got, there should be 10 of these. So all we do is just take a single seed and push it into the ground. Now I filled these trays up with basically seed sowing compost and a mixture of perlite. And I'm using these sort of plug plant starters just for convenience. I find that cucumbers can grow pretty quickly, and therefore that can lead them to being a bit quick to pop down roots. So by having them a bit more space, we can prick these out straight into pots as and when needed. We've actually got more than 10 in this lot, so this is good. This is good. So we are going to have so there we go. We have got 16, 4, 8, 12, 16 of those. We're just going to cover them back over, and what I'm going to do next is a second pack of seeds. These are ones I was sent to from Saturn's as part of an experiment, and these are called Cucumber Bella F1. It should be 4 seeds in this packet, it says. So let's have a look. Try and get these out. Not easy to get out sometimes. Let's open the packet up completely to see what we've got. There we go. 4 seeds as expected, as claimed on the pack. So again, we'll get those into the trays and ready to go. Now I should say, what I want to do is get everybody to share their tips on growing cucumbers down in their comments. I know that often we put cucumbers and tomatoes in the same greenhouse, but actually they do need slightly different conditions, so it's worth experimenting. Or if you're like me, you've got several greenhouses, having one for cucumbers and one for tomatoes. They're quite easy to grow once you get the seeds established and growing. We've got to feed them with a tomato feed about once a week once they start flowering. Before then, I like to use a seaweed feed to establish decent roots. So this next one is a gherkin style. I quite like gherkins. Cornican de Paris. So these seeds really need sowing today, this year. How many seeds are in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 seeds. So that should do pretty good for that, and that gives us a little bit more space in this tray to sow a few more seeds at a later date or later on, but don't worry about that for today. Yeah, a couple of every week with a tomato feed, and they should do pretty well once they start flowering. Those flowers will of course turn into the fruits that we want to grow, and then we harvest them. What I find is they sometimes produce, depending on the variety, a prickly cucumber, and once the prickles come off easily, you know it's time to harvest them. So that's what I find. Again, it does depend on the variety. It's also worth noting that when it comes to cucumbers, you often find only female varieties for sale. That's because if their males are on the branch, they tend to lead to some sort of sour, bitter tasting cucumbers, which isn't what we want. But if you have got a non all female variety, you've got to then remove the male flowers in order to avoid that. But like I said, check in the comments down below, leave a comment on how to sow cucumbers, or if you have any questions, leave them down below as well and see if anybody else answers them. Right, I'm going to keep these indoors until they germinate and then we will prick them out.